Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the North Dallas Plano Career Focus Group meeting. It is Good Friday, April 7th, 2023. Our agenda this morning, we'll start out with, let's see here, what's going on in the house? Come on, computer. We'll start out with success stories. We'll then have everybody enter their 30-second introductions. We'll then hear from our committee reports, workshop, job fairs, practice interview team, interview success workshop, the career tip of the week, and then we will have our main event, which today happens to be open forum. Those on Zoom, if you have any questions, please just enter your questions into the chat window. We're going to do open forum. You'll be able to just unmute your mic and ask your questions away. For those watching on Facebook, thank you for joining us. If you have any questions, just enter your questions into the comment field. We're monitoring that feed and we'll be sure to get that question answered for you. Please note this event is being recorded and is currently live on Facebook. The recording will be on the Career DFW Facebook page and the Career USA YouTube channel for others to view in the future. By participating in this event, you give consent for your name and picture to appear. Please note that any comments you put in the Zoom chat window will not appear in the recording. Well, good morning, everybody. My name is Jeff Morris. Since 2007, I've been facilitating and leading the North Dallas Plano Career Focus Group. Group's been around since the late 1990s. I took it over in 2007 when the prior leader got a job. And so I've been doing that since. In 2008, I started a website called careerdfw.org, a website to help those who are unemployed in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. In 2012, I launched a second website, careerusa.org, to help those around the United States. I have written a book called What I've Learned About Your Job Search You May Not Know. It is available on Amazon. And since 2017, I've been a member of the practice interview team, and you'll hear more about that in just a moment. Well, we'd like to start the meeting off with good news. Do we have any landing successes that people want to share this morning? Going once, going twice, anybody?
This is Vicki Kane. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Hi, Vicki.
Hi. I have landed at a location in Fort Worth, KPS Global Supply. I obtained the thing through networking with a gentleman that went with me, or we were in both. We've been all over in different career search networks. Sorry, I have a sore throat this morning. But I start April 17th as a key customer administrative manager, helping them work with one of their key customers and get some of the troubleshooting less troubleshooted. So
great. Well, congratulations. So you said you found it through networking. So was it somebody who you looked up on LinkedIn or somebody you knew? Tell us about the details on that.
It's a person that I met at South Lake Focus Group, and then we attended Fort Worth Career Search together. We've been to Frisco Connect together. I don't think he's been on North Dallas. I think he got employed. He was employed at the place in February, and then another one of our South Lake Focus Group, who's also been in all these others, was employed in March, and now me in April.
Well, great. This is wonderful. So how long was the process from the time you either filled out an application or got something turned in? What was the interview process like?
The interview process was a dream, really. I put my application in a couple of weeks ago, and like a Wednesday night, and then I sent it because I knew Chris and he was the talent acquisitionist. I sent it to him through email, said, hey, I applied for this. And he came back, asked a couple of questions, said, okay, I'll get it over to the hiring manager. And that was on a Thursday. By Monday morning, he contacted me and said, we want to get you an interview scheduled. So that was scheduled the next Tuesday, and which is a week ago, this past Tuesday. And then by a couple of hours later, after the interview was completed, it was a phone interview. He asked, they want to schedule you for a second interview? And so the soonest we could get that was this past Monday on the 3rd. And that was in the afternoon. And they told me when I left, they would probably by the end of the week. I said, great, I'll contact you on Monday if I haven't heard anything. And by 24 hours later, from the time I walked out of their place, that was an in-person interview, to 24 hours later on Tuesday, I got a call from Chris and he said, they want to hire you. Let's get this rolling. So it was a very simple process. They didn't do a lot of dragging it out. And from what I understand, they don't do that most of the time. So when they want somebody, they find somebody. So it was a good experience.
Well, congratulations. If you
Thank
will,
you.
put your details in the chat window so that way I can get it copied over and I'll put it up on the roster later this afternoon. So, Vicky,
Okay.
thank you very, very much and congratulations. What
Thank you.
one tip, if you had one tip to give job seekers, what would it be about the job search?
Keep at it and keep networking. Just keep networking, because somewhere somebody's gonna go, oh, wait, that person is, I heard this one wants that, and the connections will make. We always do this in the South Lake Focus Group. That's Judy Wardle's sign for networking. Okay. So that's my tip.
All right. Well, thank you very, very, very much. All right. Congratulations. Anybody
Thanks.
else? Do we have any other good news success stories out there? All right. Well, let's move on here. Let's see here what's going on. All right. Well, what we'd like everybody to do now is in the chat window, please put your 30-second introductions. We'd like to know your name, comma, phone number, comma, email address, comma, position you're looking for, comma, 2 or 3 target companies, and then hit the return key. For those watching on Facebook, if you want to put it in the comment field, I will delete it immediately after the session is over. I'll copy it over and then delete it immediately afterwards. I use this to update the roster. I'll use this to, get the updated roster. Everybody who, if I have your email address and stuff, if you give us their details, I will go through and you'll get a copy of the roster, the latest roster this afternoon when I have a chance to put it out. So let's put 30 seconds on the clock for everybody. If you're still typing away, please continue to type away. Thank you. All right, Career FW and Career USA. If you know somebody who's unemployed, recently unemployed, been unemployed for a while, they're not sure what they're doing in the job search, let them know about these 2 totally free websites. They don't collect any personal information. They're just here to help the job seeker. And, I just got laid off. What do I do now? I've got that on both of the websites. Great 1 or 2 page handout with things that they should do in the proper order. So if you consider that, please, let somebody know about Career DFW and Career USA. One of the things you'll find on the Career DFW website is a series of calendars that has all sorts of different events. This is the combined calendar, shows job fairs in pink, special workshops in gold, in-person networking groups in blue, the webinars are all in purple. So if there's anything out there, if you know of something, I know I had a couple people this week send me some job fairs that were coming up that they didn't see on the calendar. Please let me know. You're the eyes and ears out there. I don't know everything, but if I happen to see about it, I'll be sure to post it on here to make sure to let everybody else know what's going on. All right, the practice interview team. Your resume, your LinkedIn profile is not going to get you a job. What it is going to do, it's going to get you a, let's see here. Hold on just 1 second. I'm about to lose internet connection. Give me a second here. Was about to lose power. Okay, here we go. We're back now. All right, so sorry about that. My power supply got disconnected. The practice interview team. This is where you're going to get your practice your interviewing skills. When somebody calls you up on the phone, you've got to be ready to explain to them why you're a good fit for the job. And this is a great way to practice what it is you do. The crew is totally free. They conduct interviews Monday through Friday between 8:30 and 5. This past Wednesday, we had great candidates being interviewed in person at Christ United Methodist Church. The motto is practice early, practice often. Don't wait until you have an interview scheduled up on, the next day or in a couple of days from now, because they usually can't help you. We need 2 to 4 days out to schedule volunteers who will be your interview. So what you need to do is you just need to send your resume and a job description. Send that to dallaspitcrew@gmail.com, and we will get you scheduled for an interview. As I mentioned, the PIT crew is meeting in person on the 1st and 3rd Wednesdays of the month. There is no online option. They are meeting at Christ United Methodist Church at the corner of Parker and Coit in Plano. Every 1st and 3rd Wednesdays. The 2nd, 4th, and 5th Wednesdays, we will be online. So if we have a candidate to interview, we will interview that candidate live online. If we don't, we will be replaying one of our 13-part workshops that Mark and Walt put together for us. All right, Walt Glass is on vacation. He happens to be in sunny Florida this week, so he is not with us, but Walt runs a great program called the Interview Success Workshop. The QR code you see over there on the right-hand side of the screen will start an email requesting an interview success workshop. What Walt does is he only does 1 to 2 people at a time. He'll ask a question, or they'll ask a question and then stop, and you will talk about your answer. And did you answer it in the best way that will really be helpful? So if you want more information, just reach out to Walt Glass, go to his LinkedIn page, go to the About section. It talks all about the Interview Success Workshop. If you want to email him, walt_glass@yahoo.com. And he does these usually on Tuesdays from 10 to 12 Central Time, but he'll do others at other time if he's got a lot of people lined up to do this. So it's a great program. This is one of those things that you probably ought to do first and then go do a practice interview, because you'll be ready to go for your interviewing process. All right, Walt's not with us, so no poetry today. All right, it's time to hear from the career tip of the week. You can see there's a brand new career tip of the week every Saturday afternoon. It's on the Career DFW, careerusa.org websites. So Rosanna, thank you for being with us and reading this week's tip.
Good morning, Jeff. Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. All right, well, this week's tip of the week is dated April the 2nd of 2023, and it's job seekers are anxious. Here's how to navigate the daunting job market. So looking for a job can be stressful, like we don't all know that. Economists continue to reiterate that we are not in a recession. However, the widespread media coverage of layoffs, especially in the tech industry, has created a culture of fear among American workers and job seekers. A recent Talent.com survey revealed that 61% of workers are concerned about their job security within the next 12 months. It's extremely important for Americans to understand how best to navigate the current job market and ensure that they are set up for success no matter the circumstances that arise. We've developed 6 simple tips for workers to keep in mind if they are looking for a job, and help remove the stress from what can be, but doesn't need to be, a daunting task. So first, evaluate your skill set. Conduct an internal audit of your own skills in order to determine where your strengths lie. Your areas of expertise will help you differentiate yourself from other workers, so that's important to understand what you're good at and how you can utilize these skills to provide value in the current employment landscape. For instance, in the era of hybrid work, honing in on skills that allow for digital collaboration could be beneficial to organizations. Additionally, this exercise can help identify any potential skill gaps that you could actually fill. And many job seekers today are upskilling in order to increase their value within the workforce. In fact, a recent talent.com survey found that 67% of American workers are looking to upskill in the current employment market. While every industry is different, we are seeing more roles requiring hard skills such as cloud computing, AI, SEO/SEM, and data analysis. On the soft skills front, we are seeing requests for candidates with emotional intelligence, leadership, collaboration, and adaptability. Second, consider an industry pivot. Many industries have been impacted by economic uncertainties, especially the tech industry, which has seen mass layoffs sector-wide. In light of this, it would be wise to do research into which industries are struggling and which industries are growing and consider making a switch. The BLS, or Bureau of Labor Statistics monthly jobs report, is an excellent resource for Americans to turn to for regular updates on the employment market and the status of various business sectors. The latest report identified that the leisure and hospitality industry had the most growth in January, with the creation of approximately 128,000 jobs. The professional and business services industry came next with approximately 82,000 new roles, and then followed by government with 74,000 and healthcare with 58,000 roles. Understanding the direction of the job market and where career opportunities lie empowers individuals to make informed decisions about whether shifting industries make sense for them and to determine if and how their existing skills can be transferred to a new setting. Third, network, network, network. Networking is a key part of navigating any job market, but when times are tough, it's extra important to put yourself out there. The good news is that odds are you already have people in your corner. Think previous colleagues and managers who can be excellent resources to learn from. Furthermore, take advantage of social networking platforms to connect with those in your current or desired industry and engage them. Seek out people who have similar paths to yours or a path you admire, and ask questions about their career journey. More often than not, you will find that people are surprisingly willing to talk about their experiences. Many professionals got their start through networking and want to pay it forward. These valuable conversations can guide how you move forward in your career, and you never know where those connections will take you. Perhaps you will gain a new mentor, friend, or even be pointed in the direction of your next opportunity. Fourth, update your recruiting materials. Many individuals don't think about updating their resume, cover letter, and LinkedIn profile until they're ready to begin their job search. But in this uncertain employment landscape, it's important to be proactive. Some have dubbed this career cushioning. Updating recruitment materials before the need arises to look for a new job will minimize the chance of forgetting important information that can make you stand out from other candidates, as you will not be in a rush or under stress to complete them. Information such as recent accomplishments, milestones, and quantitative measurements of success are key updates to make. And it's important to identify your relevant skills and experiences that align with the current demands of the job market and ensure that these are highlighted throughout your materials. Additionally, with the use of applicant tracking systems becoming increasingly prevalent, noting these important skills and any relevant industry keywords can increase your chances of being noticed by organizations and moving on to the next recruitment stage. Fifth, don't lose sight of the job market. Although much of the news we are consuming revolves around layoffs, we are still living in a hot job market in which there are more available jobs than workers to fill them. Bear in mind that the jobs report indicated that there were over 517,000 new roles created just last month. Although the market is still favoring employees, it is important to be vigilant when looking for future opportunities. Set up alerts on recruitment sites so that you are notified when roles that may interest you are posted. If you've been laid off, you may want to take a look into your financial situation and see if you can afford to extend your job search and explore available career options rather than taking the first offer that comes your way. The constant creation of jobs could mean that the perfect opportunity is coming right around the corner. And it's ideal to avoid accepting a role that is not the right fit solely because of the paycheck. And sixth, think critically about about job advice. We're living in an era of information overload, and no matter where you turn, career advice is available. Although much of the information can be valuable, it does not always mean that it may be of use to your certain situation. For example, we're now seeing lots of advice being given out regarding the use of GPT or AI in recruitment and how it benefits job seekers. Common advice surrounding these tools involves how easy and fast it is for job seekers to draft personalized recruitment materials. With that said, this advice does not always take into consideration the potential negative effects of these tools. This is why thinking critically is important. Consider the qualifications of the advice giver and always evaluate if a piece of advice aligns with your personal values and goals. Instead of rushing to put any advice into action, take some time to think about the things and think them through and ensure that it makes sense for your situation. Additionally, don't be afraid to ask for a second opinion. An objective point of view can be very helpful for evaluating the effectiveness of any advice. The labor market is constantly evolving, and although its current uncertainty may be intimidating, keep these 6 tips in mind that can help you ensure that workers are effectively navigating the employment landscape. So these are the 6 tips for this week. I want to wish everybody a very happy and safe and fun Easter weekend, and we'll see you all next week.
Rosanna, thank you very, very much. All right. Just a quick reminder, Career DFW and the North Dallas Plano Career Focus Group are 2 separate organizations. The common thread is that I happen to lead both. If anybody here wants to take over the Friday group, I'll be glad to give it to you, but you're not going to get Career DFW and CareerUSA.org out of my hands. This is not the Friday group of Career DFW. People understand that. All right, our main event today is open forum. We're going to talk about whatever it is you'd like to talk about. We'd love for everybody to turn on their camera so we can see your smiling face. I'm going to stop the sharing here so we get to see everybody who's out there. Questions you've got about your job? Oh, I do want to sort of say, I didn't put on their upcoming programs. In 2 weeks, we're going to have a program about ChatGPT, how to use it in your career search. So a fascinating presentation. I saw a sample of it this past Monday, and he did it like a week before, and then in the week, he's already modified what his presentation is. So I'm sure his presentation will get updated again before he presents it to us in 2 weeks on the 14th. So just, come back, join us. We're going to have some good programming here during the month of April. All right, so what can we talk about in your job search? Just unmute your mic, ask your question. It'll be a very short meeting if nobody has any questions or anything they'd like to ask. What are you all seeing in the job market? I mean, that's, tell us what you're seeing right now. Anyone?
Did have an odd occurrence that I kind of wanted to get somebody's take on.
Okay.
So I was contacted by a recruiter earlier this week through LinkedIn messaging, and asked if I was available, if I was interested in a position. So I said yes, I'm interested, and so I tried to arrange so I asked, when's a good time for us to talk? and this is after I checked her out. Everything looked legit and fine and good, and I've heard of the company and everything. So didn't hear back from her until like toward the end of the next day, and then she says, yeah, I'd like to. Yeah, let's chat. Are you available this afternoon? I said yes, and I said, do you want to set up a time to talk, or do you want to just hop on a call now? And then I haven't heard anything since then. That was like around Tuesday. So I'm not sure if I should message back and try again, or if I should just wait and see if she says anything, or just keep looking.
Anybody have suggestions? I recommend you just, follow up. Send her a message back and just say, sorry I missed you Tuesday afternoon. Still very interested in the position. When
Okay.
can we talk? Can't hurt.
Ernest, though, I found some advice that suggested throwing out some times in your initial reply to the recruiter. In fact, I got contacted by a recruiter also, and I think it was maybe on Tuesday, and I was had something in the morning on Wednesday, so I suggested, hey, what about Thursday or Friday? And they said, I'd love to meet with you this afternoon, and that was Wednesday morning. So we did meet Wednesday afternoon, but that might help. Because you can, stuff can happen, when you have get into a bunch of back and forth, and
Yeah.
they could get into, it could bog down.
Good suggestion. Give them a couple dates and times. Yeah. Anybody else? All right, any other comments? No? You've got to take the proactive stance. I did an interview Wednesday with the practice interview team, and the guy was practicing for this one job that he had. And I said, so when did you apply for this? Oh, about 3 weeks ago. I said, so what's happened in the last 3 weeks? Nothing. I said, well, what are you going to do about it? You've got to, it's up to you to sort of be proactive, I think. And, at some point, if they're not interested, they're going to tell you no. But I forget who says it, but no is the second best answer you can get, because, yes is the best, no is the second best, because you get a no, then to move on to the next thing that's happening. So
Absolutely.
it's all these I'm not sure what's going on that gets really confusing.
Yeah, that makes sense. Thanks.
All right, what else can we answer? What else can we talk about? Okay, come on. Subject, if you got a subject on Facebook, I see there's 3 of us on Facebook right now. If you have a subject, let us know what you'd like to talk about, or a question. I'll get it answered for you. And Anthony, I can tell your camera's having issues because I've seen it glitch and do everything else trying to come up on there. So not a problem.
I posted a fix for that in the chat because it's happening to a lot of people lately. So it's right above Rosina's.
Click the up arrow next to your video icon at the bottom of the Zoom screen, pops up, click video setting. Optimize with denoise, okay?
Yeah,
Okay,
make
so
sure
this
that's unchecked.
Oh, it's a Zoom issue, not a camera issue,
Right,
is what you're saying.
right.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and it's been happening to a lot of people over the last month or so.
Okay.
So
Must be the new updates. They put out a new update and you never know what bug, what
it's
A
so
affects
true.
B, and they didn't know that.
So true.
So what else can we answer with somebody? Question about your job search.
I don't have a specific question, but I could use some sort of advice, I guess.
Okay.
I'm looking to sort of downshift a bit. I'm kind of sliding toward retirement, and just got a job alert last night for a job that it's basically entry level, but it's in a field I want to get into. And I'm wondering how to address any potential overqualified issues.
Well,
Um,
I think that's one of those things that's when the cover letter is important. That, you're explaining that,
If they ever read it.
if,
I-
well,
I've- Yeah. I did find a recruiter on LinkedIn for this company. So I'm wondering about contacting him directly. What do I say? I'm applying for the linguistic analyst, whatever. I can't remember the title right off the top of my head right now, but I'm applying for the job. I don't know what to say after that.
yeah, well, you want to say, I'm applying for I've applied for the job. You go ahead, you do the online application. I've applied for the job,
Yep.
the position title, the requisition number, whatever, the
Mhm.
person can look it up. And I'm just very interested in the position. I'd like to have an opportunity to contact, to talk with
Yeah.
you, to get some information and advice. And,
Okay.
and just sort of see what, and that's when you then explain. You're not looking for the stress you used to have. You're looking for, you'd love to do this. It's not about the money. It's about the experience. And you'd want to, how can I help your company? I can help your company by solving your problem.
Thank you. That's what I needed to be reminded of. How can I
Mhm.
help? Yeah, I think that would be great because I do have a lot of things in my background would really, really help in this job. So
Right. So,
Right.
that's what every job seeker's got to remember is
Yeah.
what can I do for your company? How can I help your company succeed?
Yeah.
You have a problem. You're not hiring people just to give away money. You're hiring people because you have a problem. I can be a problem solver. Here's what I do tell me what your problems are. Look, I've done those. Let me solve them for you.
Yeah. Thank you.
And Jane, this is Rosina. I would also highly recommend in that cover letter, if you catch their attention to scan that cover letter, like Jeff said, outline how you may be able to help from your perspective, what you already know, what research you've already done, put a couple bullet points in there. Because if you can catch the recruiter's attention, you want to grab it. And so if you have 3 bullet
Oh.
points of, I would based on my research or whatever statement you want to make, I can help your company with bullet. So
Oh.
just, be proactive, like Jeff said.
Yeah, maybe I could even send the recruiter, directly send them my cover letter and resume.
Or
That's
even on
possible.
LinkedIn, even on
Yeah,
LinkedIn,
yeah, exactly.
you don't have to send the cover letter, but you could just send those 3 or 4 bullet points in the
Of
message
course.
via LinkedIn.
Mhm.
Right, right. Okay, great. Thank you.
All right. We're offering advice and information. What else can we do for somebody? What are you all seeing out there in the job market? I know the unemployment number went up a tad, but the DFW area seems to be still pretty good. I know everybody here is not in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, but tell me, what are you all seeing in your job search?
Still a little slow on my end.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the same for everybody else.
It was the same way for me. It picked up after January, a little bit, but not a whole lot. But I did see a difference.
So for me, it dropped off after January. Toward the end of last year, I had several leads, and then everything just sort of dropped off after January. Now it's sort of a drip feed.
I
Yeah,
saw
go ahead.
I saw an uptick this week compared to the last couple of weeks. So
And I think a lot of what's happening in the last 3 or 4 weeks is that a lot of people have been having spring breaks. And so families are out, they're taking the week off to go someplace with their kids and whatever, or grandkids. And, I think all that'll wrap up here after this weekend. So I'm thinking that, the rest of April people will be back to business April, May until school sort of out for the next 2 months. So, there won't be a lot of vacation time happening right now.
And we're getting into second quarter, so a lot of companies will hold off first quarter hiring. They might have their positions out there, but they won't actually hire till the next quarter because they just, I don't know, that's just their standard.
Right.
So-
First quarter is typically the slowest quarter of the year to get hired.
Jeff, this is Anthony.
Yeah, Anthony.
A couple days ago on LinkedIn, there was an interviewer, Jamie Dixon, JP Martin. And he is the last of the big bankers from the crisis left over all of the CEOs, they gone. He was stating that he thinks the economy in the United States is going to be good the rest of the year, next year. He says that all the things going to be different, quality is probably with the bank. But other than that, everything's going to be good.
Yeah, Anthony, it was really hard to sort of hear you. You're sort of like breaking up every other word. I'm not really sure if that was good news or bad news you shared.
Good news.
Bad news?
Good news.
Good news. Oh, good news. Okay. Yeah, it's been interesting. So, I mean, if you follow the news, you're probably depressed right now. But if you've been, everybody predicted, the end of 2022, we're going to be in a recession. The beginning of spring of 2022, we're going to hit a recession. The summer of 2023, we're going to hit something. And it just the economy just keeps going away. I mean, I think things are slowing down a little bit. I know definitely in the tech business, things have slowed down. The housing market has slowed down. Housing prices have come down a little bit. But for some reason in certain markets, and at least the DFW market, the bigger markets, I think, are still, jobs are still pretty plentiful, and you see companies are still moving, at least the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I can't speak about the other areas of the country. So hopefully things will, we'll have sort of a soft landing, and we'll see what happens here. I think oil prices are going to go back up here over the next few months, and we'll see. And then also going in the driving season. What else can we help somebody with? Advice, comments, questions you've got? Anything?
I don't necessarily have a question. I'm just curious other people's thoughts and how they evaluate. So one of the topics that has been brought up multiple times this week is culture fit. So for instance, how do you determine what is a good culture fit? What are the signs that y'all look out for or help you to figure out whether or not a job is or is not good for you?
What do you do?
I know Walt spoke on Monday at another networking. I just missed that particular meeting, unfortunately.
Right. What do you, anybody out there, when you're evaluating a job, do you even look at fit, or is it just, hey, if you give me a job offer, I'm going to take it and I'll deal with it once I'm there?
There are like Glassdoor, sometimes the reviews of a company will mention the culture. You could also just Google the company name and corporate culture. And then if you get an interview, you can ask, one of the questions you can ask them is, I've read that your culture is blah, blah, blah. How does that apply in your department? Is that consistent with the culture in your department? And maybe get some clues that way.
I think part of the whole culture thing is if you can do an informational interview, not necessarily with somebody in that department or somebody in, that division, but just finding out, well, if you just go and you just ask them, what's it like working here? Do you like working here? Some companies are great. I happened to, a few weeks ago when I was in San Antonio, down at breakfast, I met somebody who worked at Tesla, at the Tesla factory here in Austin. And the guy said, oh, the culture is great. The people are so friendly. When my wife had a baby, they called, they wanted to know how things were going. And, you know, he said, I just love working there. So if you can find somebody in the company who can give you some information and some advice. I mean, you're asking what's the culture like? So I think it's a matter of reaching out, just not, I mean, it's hard enough to try to find the hiring manager or the recruiting manager or the recruiting person who's doing it, but just anybody who's worked, anybody who even worked at the company in the past. You know, what do you like about the company? You know, as far as, you know, missing the culture thing, I know we probably had, there's a video, Walt's done the culture fit video for us on this Friday group, and it'll be out on the YouTube channel. So if you want to go back and see it, you'll be able to go scroll down and you'll be able to find one from Walt about culture fit. I know we've got it recorded someplace.
Okay, thanks, Jeff.
But yeah, I mean, you know, I think a lot of people don't worry about the culture, and I think you got to be careful with Glassdoor because it's a lot like Yelp. If you really don't like the food, you're going to make sure people know about it. If you're unhappy, people who are happy with what's going on, they tend not to post a whole lot.
Yeah,
So,
it definitely slants negative.
right.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of reaching out, and you know, you got to find all the circumstances. And just because it's, you know, just because the culture is great in one department doesn't mean the manager in the other department, the department next door, is just a dictator and is just making life miserable on it for everybody. So, you know, it's just one of those things you sort of ask and just you get as much information as you can.
That is so true.
And, you know, listen, employees leave because of bad managers. They don't leave because of the company. They don't leave because of what they were doing. If they don't like their manager, they're gone. My son just left the company. I mean, he's gotten a new job, but I mean, he just left because the owner of the company was just all over the place and everybody in the company was jumping ship. So he just knew this was not the place for him. And, you know, he got out. So it was funny, the day he quit, somebody on LinkedIn reached out to him. Oh, I see you work at this company. What's the culture like? What's it like working there? And I think he advised her to keep looking. I think my son told me they have more former employees in 2022 than they have total employees in the company. So what's that say about the company? They're really good at laying people off or people leaving. So yeah, not a good sign. Good question, Alexandra. That's always a toughie, the fit thing, because I have a feeling that most job seekers, if they get that job offer, they'll just accept it and not really worry about, well, what is the company really like? You know, is there something else out there?
It was not really something that I had prioritized before. And I consider myself a very kind and, you know, I'm a hard worker. I learn very easily. And so I feel like I should be able to be that puzzle piece that easily fits into the picture of wherever it is that I'm working. But just because I have that mindset doesn't make it true. And so you know, this time around, because I'm taking that different approach to things, just, you know, understanding culture fit and how to evaluate that.
Well, and I think the other thing that everybody needs to do, if you haven't done this, go to your public library, and they all get the Dallas Business Journal, and they all probably have the Dallas Morning News top 100 companies to work for. And they break it down, small, medium, large companies. And people, you know, it's an independent rating system. The Dallas Business Journal does it. So does the Dallas Morning News. I've got copies of both. I'll be glad to, you know, if you've got an area I can help you with when I get back to Dallas. I'm actually out of town right now, but when I'm back to Dallas on Monday, I can help you with anybody who wants that. Or if you come to the meeting next Friday, let me know. I'll be glad to bring those 2 documents with us, and you can go through and scan them and take a look and see what's in there. But I mean, that's, if they're a top rated company, if they're a top 100 company, and those companies will tend to advertise that on their website. You know, selected by Dallas Morning News in 2022 as the top 100 companies to work for. And you can probably even just Google it, you know, Dallas Morning News top 100, Dallas Business Journal, because people like to work there for some reason. You know, they treat their employees well, they have a good time. You know, I know the company I used to work for years ago when I was in charge, you know, we, during the summertime, we have all sorts of fun things going on, just because it was like, you know, we got to do something fun with, you know, you spend probably more time with your coworkers than you do your family at home, you know. So you want it to be a fun place to be. You want it to be a place that you want to go to work.
I completely agree.
Okay. All right, what else can we answer for somebody? Oh, come on. What I will do, if nobody has anything, I think what we should do is go around here and let everybody give their 30-second introductions online so people can, you know, we put it in the chat window, but we might as well go ahead and, you know, tell us who you are, what you do, and how you can help people. So why don't we just let's go around the screens and we'll have everybody give their introductions. Ernesto, you want to start for us?
Sure, why not? My name is Ernesto Weber. I am a software test engineer. I've also have experience as a software engineer doing software development. Those are more or less the roles I'm looking for. I'm also open to IT analyst roles and basically anything else that looks challenging and interesting. My name is Ernesto Weber.
Are there any couple target companies that you want to throw out there?
I think I've interviewed at a few companies that I've been targeting, but you know, nothing that's actually worked out. So not sure what else to what else to throw out.
Okay. All right. All right, Steve, Steve Rowan, you want to give us your 30-second introduction?
Sure, sure. I'm mostly retired at this point, but I'm a .NET software developer, and I'm looking for something in that particular area. I've talked to several companies, and nothing's worked out yet. But that's sort of where I'm at. I'm kind of retired at this point.
Okay. And he's a great scoutmaster. So if you want to, if you've got a kid who wants to go in scouting, get part of Steve's group.
Yes, there you go.
All right, Drew Puckett, tell us about you.
Thanks, Jeff. Hi, everybody. I'm Drew Puckett. I'm a marketing technology manager with a real passion for uncovering value in data. And I help with my analytical problem solving. Depending on your need, I can help identify new opportunities, save money, and help you be more efficient. I'm Drew Puckett.
Great. Do you have any target companies that we could help you with?
Right now, I'm looking at Extreme Networks because their recruiter contacted me.
Okay. Extreme Networks. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Jane.
I'm Jane Lorenzen, and I have a lot of experience with technical writing and instructional design. And I recently went back to grad school and got my master's in linguistics. And now I want to combine the two and work on computational linguistics projects, typically with artificial intelligence and machine learning, either as a technical writer documenting the project, either for internal use or for end users, or perhaps doing the linguistic analysis of the data that trains the machine learning models. So,
Any target companies?
yeah, right now I'm looking at Invisible Technologies.
Okay. Very good. Thank you very much. Anthony. All right, Anthony may not be there. See, Vicky, you want to give us your quickie little 30, even though I know you're employed or about to be employed?
Sure. And I'm gonna have to read it because I haven't done it in so long. I'm Vicky Kane, a customer success manager. I help your customers hit their goals with their platform as an expert strategist, technical wizard, passionate trainer, and savvy relationship manager to increase the ROI. I'm Vicky Kane.
All right, and Vicky is employed. Congratulations, we're about to be employed. Very good. All right, Gary Stillman, tell us who you are and what you want to do.
Gary Stillman, medical sales rep and manager, looking to find a position primarily in the product sales side of the coin. And also wanted to mention, Jeff, that in 2 weeks I'll be going to Louisville. So if there's anything I can relay, I'll be there.
Thank you very much. Any target companies?
Not at this time.
Okay, thank you, Gary. Alexandra.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Alexandra Faber. I am a client relations liaison and customer success manager with the superpower to problem solve. I'm Alexandra Faber.
Superpower, all right. Any target companies?
Not at this time. Right now, I'm really working on focusing on narrowing down industries since customer service, shoots across the board. And then once I narrow down from that, then I'll work on getting specific target companies.
Okay. All right, Chris Thomas.
Good morning, everybody. Chris Thomas, out of Denton in Texas. I am a senior finance leader with very broad hands-on knowledge in the finance and accounting area. I've worked for public Fortune 500 companies which are or were private equity and privately owned. In all of my career, I have been in manufacturing industries. My strengths are leading and building cross-functional teams and margin expansion. However, my true passion lies in process improvement. My target companies are mostly in the manufacturing space. Still working on my list. Probably have about 100 listed now.
All right, you want to list one or two of those companies?
I don't have any really which come to mind where I would need help with, because I just had a couple of networking calls over the last few days.
Okay, great, thank you. Rosanna.
Good morning again, everyone. My name is Rosina Wallace-Gallman, and I am seeking a remote senior talent acquisition consultant role, basically a senior recruiter. I've worked across a variety of industries, and so based on this call and a lot of other networking groups that I'm part of, I've been able to assist candidates in either introducing you to new opportunities or new ways of finding opportunities, as well as being able to connect candidates to the right jobs for the companies that I'm supporting. And so currently because I do a lot of my work contract-wise, I am looking for more regular position. And so my current target companies are Cigna, MetLife, Delta Dental, and University of North Texas. And so I'm looking forward to connecting with each and every one of you guys, and however I can help, I'll be more than happy to do so. Again, Rosina Gallman.
Thank you very, very much.
You're
How
welcome.
about Scott? Scott in New Jersey.
Good morning, everybody. Scott Boudreau, Certified Planning Inventory Management. Looking for a supply chain job in central New Jersey or remotely. If it has a part number, I can manage it. If it doesn't, I'll create one. I'll get you the right part at the right place at the right time for the right price. Hope to connect with everybody. If people put LinkedIn in the meeting chats, I hope to connect soon. Have a good Passover and Easter, everybody. Scott Boudreau.
Scott, I like your introduction. You got the part number, give a UPI. I have to give you a star for the best That's 30-second introduction there. I
Thank
like
you.
it. Well put together.
Yep, but I don't currently have any target companies quite yet.
All right. Well, it sounds like we need to find out about how to find target companies. You know, I mean, I think it's real important because when you're introducing yourself to other people, I think it's real important that you've got to have a couple target companies. How do you come up with that list? How do you find those target companies? There's a great program out there called Reference Solutions. If you have a library card, get a library card. If you don't have one, go get one. If you get that library card, then when you're at the library, go to the reference librarian and ask them to show you how to use reference solutions, because this is a great program that has millions of companies listed, and you use the SIC code to help narrow down what it is you want to do. And you can put in what you're looking for, and then up will come companies. It tells you, you can put in how far away from my house these companies are. You can put in, there's 50 different parameters that you can list, you know, size of the company, where they're located. You'll get all the details that are public records that are out there. So when you're sharing your information with people and you're sharing, you know, this is what I'm looking for. If you can give somebody a couple target companies, that's where it then sticks in our brain as far as here's what we can do, here's how we can help somebody. You know, I'm not going to remember, you know, without a target company, I'm not going to know the name of the company is not going to stick in my brain. Okay, what it is you do. So you can give us a number, that'd be great. Anybody else have any questions, comments, suggestions? Looking for advice? The advice board is open. We don't talk about dating advice, so that's up to you. Are we done? You think we're done for the day?
No, we're not done.
We're not? All right, what do you got?
All right, so as I had mentioned, I bring a lot of resources or try and connect people to job opportunities. One of the things I want to ask is, everybody, I know you guys have said that the job market is either moving a little faster now that you've seen, or it's still moving a little slower. But I want to encourage you to get out and look across a variety of new areas. Wherever you're looking now, look other places. And the reason why I say that is we just went through a training, because every month we have our recruiter training. And so recruiters are out there trying to find candidates, and they are looking under rocks. I kid you not. And so when I tell you, are you part of LinkedIn groups? If not, join some groups, because recruiters are out there looking for the right candidate. And the right candidate is defined by what their hiring manager says is the right candidate. So they're not just looking for anybody who's, you know, maybe on a job board or something like that. They're just looking across a variety because they need to have a slate of candidates to present to the hiring managers. So with that said, if you're not in a group, or if you're in a couple of groups, add some additional groups for LinkedIn. Look in the Facebook groups, join some of those. Get yourself in a place where a recruiter can find you. On your LinkedIn profile, if you haven't gone through and, let's just say in your headline, take out a word, save your profile, and then go back in and put that word back in and save it. That's going to change the, you know how algorithms work, or just like even Google, when something changes, it brings you to the top. So all I'm saying is just go in and change something in the headline. That way you're kind of refreshing your profile and moving it up. I know these are little corny tricks, but tricks are working, you know. You just want to get yourself noticed. Kind of going back to the presentation that we were talking about. Hang on one second. Let me just open up something here. So have you looked at, and these are just suggestions of other places, have you looked or talked to your local church? I mean, they may have a careers ministry where you can go and take a look on their webpage and see, are they posting jobs? Are they connected? Are you connected on LinkedIn to your careers ministry? Because recruiters are reaching out to everyone, churches, libraries. I mean, you may want to look, there are places in grocery stores that have places where you can post jobs, even at the local community colleges and universities, even on their websites, as well as posted on their bulletin boards, there are jobs that are listed. I was at my son's school and I'm like, look at all these jobs that are here. Now, granted, they would ideally like to have students, but still they're open to any and everyone who has experience. They're trying to fill a job. So I'm just saying, look at other places that you may not have already looked at. The local unemployment office. So workintexas.com is where it's the unemployment office's posting job board, so to speak. There are tons of jobs listed in there, and you don't have to be unemployed to be able to go in there and look. So all I'm saying is go to workintexas.com. That's just one other place to take a look for jobs that you can apply to. Look at your networks, associations and things of that nature. Libraries, you just never know what connections recruiters may have to libraries. You'll have to do the research on that. But Jeff had just mentioned you can utilize the Reference USA tool. There may be some other things that you can utilize as well. All I'm saying is do the research and then look beyond where you're looking now. Open up your visibility to put yourself in other places where a recruiter can find you. Look at community organizations, religious organizations. If you haven't done just a perusal of hashtags, just go to hashtag, open up LinkedIn, and you can also open up Google, but put in hashtag hiring. Just kind of look to see who all's hiring. That may even give you an idea of, I never thought about that company, or I never thought of that about that type of position. So all I'm saying is just broaden your visibility for what other opportunities might be out there beyond what you're currently looking at. Have you looked at your competitors or the competitors that you've worked for in the past? We were talking about like Google Maps or MapQuest. I hate to say it, but we use Google Maps to find competitors of companies, and then we're targeting employees who may work for those companies. So look at Google Maps, put in, whatever your job title is, and see what it pulls up. I mean, there's so many different things to consider. Like I said, competitors are good. If you haven't done a career assessment, I'll put one in the chat, but it's a free career assessment. You can take it, and then it kind of helps you determine what you would be a good fit for. So just because of what you're doing now, you may also want to look at whatever this career assessment says you'd be a good fit for. You may want to look in that area as well. All I'm saying again is broaden your visibility and scope. Get yourself positioned in places where recruiters can find you, and then get yourself into jobs that are really going to incite passion and excitement, because job search it's a task. It really is. But eventually you're going to land. That's the positive part of it. Eventually you're going to land. We just need to get you there. And I know I had mentioned on, I think it was 2 months ago on the open forum session, where me personally, I'm just using myself as an example. What you want to also do is look at what Jeff has mentioned, creating a master resume of all of your experience from when you first started working up till present. When you look back over all of your experience, look at, okay, I'm currently doing XYZ, but in the past, I've done ABC, LMNOP, that kind of thing, you know? So I'm gonna use myself as an example. I'm currently a senior recruiter. But in the past, I've also worked across a variety of industries. And in the past, I've also come from, I was a military spouse. I have worked in, and I have a son who's also in college. And so I spent a lot of time on campuses as well. With that said, as a recruiter, I can work in the corporate environment. I could also work in the career centers at colleges and universities. I could also work within the military and helping military spouses and families as they're transitioning. So look at your experience to see where all you can work, and then look in those industries or those areas for opportunities as well. Because if you stay in the mainstream, everybody's in the mainstream. You need to get out of the mainstream and get into areas that may be considered small to middle company type environments where you have a higher chance because there's not as many people in that mainstream, if that makes sense. I hope I'm making sense when I'm saying this. But you want to get yourself into a position where there's a lower number of candidates as the part of the applicant pool that gives you a higher chance of being chosen and landing. So I just want to at least share a couple of those things and tips. Hopefully that will help somebody to expand your horizons, and maybe we'll have some more landings next week.
Right. Yeah, thank you very much for those comments. Yeah, I mean, make sure your LinkedIn profile is complete, it's robust, lots of keywords, because that's what recruiters are going to look for. Make sure your contact information is in the About section, because if you're not a first-degree connection, you cannot see your contact information. Being a second or third-degree person, you can't see that information. So make sure because recruiters want to pick up the phone and call you. That's the first thing they want to do. They don't want to have to send an in-mail or email you. So get that phone number and email address there so it's easy for anybody to find you. Have a robust profile. I will tell you this. So I manage the Career DFW LinkedIn group. We have over 14,700 members. I would say 1 out of 15, maybe 1 out of 10, these people are in HR. They're recruiters because they're trying to find you. They're joining the group because they're trying to find other candidates right now. So join those big groups. Find those groups that are out there. If they only have 50 or 60 members, all right, probably not a group you want to join. But if it's got 1,000 or more members, a couple or 10,000 members, join those big groups, because it'll be very, very effective. All right, anybody else? Anything else? All right, let me just share a few things and we will get out of here today, and we'll sort of finish up here. If you've not put your 30-second introductions into the chat window, please do so. That way we can use that to update the roster and everything. Career DFW Career USA, we're putting on training 4 days a week. Join us next week, next Tuesday, 1 o'clock Central Time. How to use LinkedIn for job hunting, strategies to get results with Locke Alderson. We do LinkedIn Tuesday, every Tuesday at 1 o'clock. Next Wednesday, interviewing Wednesday at 1 o'clock Central Time. Hopefully we will have a candidate. I'm usually not sure until the day before, but hopefully we'll have a practice interview that you can watch, a real practice interview happen. If we do have a candidate, it will be on Zoom only. If we do not have a candidate and we do our regular interview session, it will be one of our 13 workshops that we'll replay. That will be on Facebook and Zoom. But if you'd like to schedule your own, if you'd like to schedule a practice interview, don't wait. Just go to DallasBigCrew.com and you can get more information there on how to do that. And then next Thursday being the second Thursday of the month, we'll talk all about networking. Every session, we have a different speaker who talks about networking. Networking is pretty much the same, just reaching out to other people. But please, join us next Thursday for that session. Session has been recorded. You will be able to go back and watch it on the Career DFW Facebook page or the Career USA YouTube channel. On the Career USA YouTube channel, on playlist, and then pick one of the 7 playlists. I know Alexandra said she was looking on something on fit. So if you go click on the North Dallas Plano Career Focus Group down below, click what says View Full Playlist, up will come a list of all the different dates and topics. Just scroll down and you'll find one of the topics there. We'll talk about wall glass, you know, culture fit or something like that. You'll find a title and you can sit and watch it. Just know that any of those that you put in on the North Dallas group, you need to go about 30 minutes in where the speaker starts. So everybody have a meaningful Easter, happy Passover. I love this little graphic. I always think this is very, very funny. So thank you very much for joining us today, everybody. Have a great weekend, and we will see you all next week.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you.